All right, first and foremost, if you are still using ChatGPT and you're going to go over to Claude, which I recommend highly, Claude has way better spoken word. It has a lot more in-depth thinking when it's coming up with responses too. And you can see how it's getting its responses, and it'll give you all that data at all times too, which I find kind of nice, and get all the sources at the same time. So you can see what it's thinking, and it does give you longer thinking. However, if you've been using ChatGPT for a long time, you want to make sure you get at least some of your data over from ChatGPT so you're not restarting everything. So the first thing I'd recommend is dropping export instructions into ChatGPT. I will put all of these in the training after all the commands if anybody needs them. But this one's pretty easy. It's just export all my stored memories and any context you've learned about me in past conversations, preserve my words verbatim where possible, especially for instructions and preferences. And then, so instructions, identity, career, projects, preferences, basically just asking it to make a summary. So it'll make a summary for you, and you can copy and paste this summary right into Claude. So that's step one.
How much is Claude compared to ChatGPT? Is it similar?
It's 26.99 a month for the
Okay.
pro.
Okay.
So like it's what, $6 more a month or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bit more. The less credits, however, like I use it like 10 times a day right now. So I ran out of credits the first month, but they just like emailed me and gave me an extra full month of credits on the pro. So I think for most people, like the pro will be fine. And then there's like another version even higher than that. It's like $40 a month, but you should be totally fine with the pro. You can and try it out without the pro. Like you actually get a decent amount of credits. Like I managed to build an entire ebook while I was still on the free version of Claude. So you do have everything. So try it out. You can pay once you kind of run out of credits and you're like, yeah, I like this thing. I'm gonna keep going with it. So first thing you want to copy paste this or something similar, but I'll put the commands in and then it's going to give you the output. You want to copy and paste in the cloud. Check your output because sometimes, well, okay, in my case, I've like built stuff for other people, so it pulled data that wasn't actually mine. So I went and checked it all. And then I do recommend before you drop everything into Claude that you just tell it, hey, here's my history from ChatGPT. But I also want you to ask me another up to like 25 questions about me so that you understand everything I'm working on.
Does
So
it transfer your project files straight over then as well?
you can export your project files as zip files if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just like that code just going to give a summary. If you want all of your data, you can download it as a zip file. Mine is so much, I couldn't get it all in one file. It just took forever.
Fair enough.
But yes, you can do that too. So there's a history export function in the settings as well. Once you're in Claude, though, no matter what you're exporting over, ask it to ask you some questions just so you make sure everything's up to date. Because sometimes in your history, you're gonna have stuff from years ago. You might not even want that in there. So tell it to ask you questions about what you're working on and who you are and everything, just so it's set up really well. So that's what I recommend to do first. But this is Claude once you're in it. Um, the if you're using ChatGPT for picture creation or virtual staging, I am still finding that's better in ChatGPT, the picture part, than Claude. But overall, Claude seems to be better in pretty much everything. Even like output of documents is way better constructed on Claude too. So, um, in Claude, you do have, so same thing, give it commands, gonna give you results. So the project section, in Claude works kind of like the GPT section in ChatGPT. So you can load up things if you want. So I made this ebook for new agent and then I'm like doing some promotion stuff on it. So I made a project, I uploaded all my documents in here. So it always knows what I'm talking about, and you can just do that for anything. So for these YouTube videos, I uploaded scripts we worked on, I uploaded a bunch of YouTube information and Google searches into this one. So if I'm gonna create a topic for our Riley and I's long form Google videos, or sorry, YouTube videos, then we're gonna use this. And it has a bunch of info in it already. So you can set up projects. You can set up projects on the free version, so you try it out right away too, which is nice. So that's all in there. Definitely use the projects. You still have a sidebar. You can pull up any of your past conversations with it. And just to give you an example, um, I have this pretty dialed now for my green screen video ones I'm doing, so I can just set a topic and it'll give me the exact format I want for my script. But the spoken word's a lot better. The emails are better. If you're using AI for client or lead follow up, it's a lot better. So I recommend start playing with this and start building out profile on here. So we're using this to write all of our scripts now, and you can use it to write some lead magnets too, which I'll get into next. All right, so the other one is Manus. This is from Meta. This is another one you're gonna want to use for specific things. So Manus does really good deep dives, research on Google searches and like online traffic in general. So if you're gonna make videos or make posts, if you target those to gaps in the market, so things that are getting searched a lot on Google, but people aren't giving up content for, then that's really going to increase your traffic. So this is something we're using for our YouTube videos right now is finding out what people are searching for on Google all the time, but also where the gap is where people where other influencers aren't making videos towards that search result. So if you are on YouTube, super important because YouTube ranks first on Google searches because Google owns YouTube. So if you're making YouTube videos geared towards the search questions, you will pop up way faster on the top. It does still work for Meta too. So it's good to have a gap and you can ask it to scrub everything. So let me know what's missing on Meta for these topics. Let me know what's missing on YouTube for these topics. Let me know what's being discussed on chat boards like Reddit, Quora, all of that as well too. So it will deep dive everything. So I'm going to give you an example here. And again, I'll put this command in to school after. All right. So this one, I wanted to make sure Riley and I's Friday videos we're doing, like our podcast style ones, are hitting things that are relevant for online searches. Because we know that'll pop up views, that'll get interactions going, and we'll get more leads because of it. So the command I gave it was pull local keywords and search trend data for real estate terms in Calgary and surrounding areas, include, as you see there, for all of 2025 and year to date 2026. Because I want to see the whole trend over the last year. Top keywords related to buying, selling, and moving, especially moving to Alberta, moving to Calgary. Volume, seasonality, and competition for each keyword. Real estate content gaps or opportunities based on recent research. Comparisons to nearby cities. Questions being asked on forums or search engines, so include Reddit, Quora, Google. Popular news articles or blog content being created about our area, and then separate this search into each area. So Cochrane, Calgary, Airdrie, Chestermere, so we can see where the gaps are. But this one's like super powerful. So this, like a search like that could take up to 10 minutes on here. So like you can give the command, walk away, let it do its thing, and it's going to show you everything it researched as it goes to. So it does a lot of research. Okay, research phase is complete. Here's the Calgary stuff. I'm building the interactive report now, and then it builds an entire report for you. So,
Wow.
oh yeah, this thing's amazing. You're gonna want to use
So
this no matter what if you're making
yeah,
videos.
no, I because I haven't used Manus yet. I was checking out Claude because obviously everyone's talking about, using open claw and agents to do certain
Mhm.
tasks and all these kinds of things. So I've been curious about it. But just for this, would you use this to do scripts for Instagram reels and stuff, like for our stuff we discussed on Friday?
I'd use Claude to write the script. I'd use Manus to do the research.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
So this is the full report that I generated a few weeks ago. You have a market overview, the areas, moving keywords.
It actually created this entire thing for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So just to give you an idea, so here's a keyword breakdown. So Calgary real estate as a search term, 50,000 to 62,000 searches a month. But the competition is really high on what content's being created. There's a lot of people will tag Calgary real estate, talk about Calgary real estate. Oh, here's a Calgary real estate market update. Here's what's going on in Calgary for real estate. So like, there's tons of videos, right? Now the trend's really stable, and most of that's geared towards buyers from the search results on Google. So it's something good to know, but like anything with super high competition, it's gonna be really hard to stand out for everybody. Homes for sale in Calgary, trends towards buyers is seasonal, which makes sense because most people start like searching for homes around, let's say now, maybe March till like the summer. So it fluctuates. Moving to Alberta gets pretty at 15,000 to 20,000 search requests a month on Google right now, and there's not much competition. So nobody's addressing this term and these keywords. So the trend is really high. And then, if it's for people moving here, it's going to be buyers. And then again, you can see the breakdown of everything. Now, I asked it to do the content gap, so I don't even need to flip through all of this. Really, all I want from this report is this. So where's your content gap? So high value content opportunities identified from search behavior analysis. Each gap includes a top specific YouTube meta video idea ready to execute. So it gives you some ideas too. Moving to Alberta, like we saw, low competition, high search results, massive opportunity. Again, Calgary, Airdrie, Cochrane. So we did moving to Alberta related video a couple weeks ago. We did Cochrane last week. We're shooting Airdrie this week. We're doing Chestermere and Okotoks as well, breaking those into separate videos because we know lots of people are searching, like moving to Alberta, moving to Airdrie, moving to Cochrane, moving to Calgary. So we're going to address those. Moving from Ontario or BC to Calgary is another pretty high opportunity one. So Sid and I are actually going to do a moving from Ontario to Calgary long form video next week. And that should hit pretty good search results. But like this is the big one, right? So anything you can address here. Why is everyone moving to Alberta in 2026? Um, that stuff is going to hit really well on Google searches. So you could do this for any area too. Obviously, you want enough search results. So like moving to uh, Parkdale, moving to like a neighborhood, it's probably not going to be many search results. Moving to Cochrane's decent. I have another breakdown of that specifically. Because it's pretty big area. Moving to like a specific neighborhood in Calgary is not going to hit you a ton of search results, but moving to inner city Calgary is probably something you can explore as a good search result to hit and see kind of what the competition is there. So you could ask this report for anything you want to focus on. So Adam, if you focus on inner city and Canmore, like you get two different reports and kind of figure out what you want to drill down on for
Yeah.
videos. But this
Yeah.
will really help steer that. Suburb comparison, high opportunity. Again, that's why we're addressing that on our YouTube channel right now. And then it just goes down from there. So Rocky V acreage living. This, I'm not surprised. The amount of acreage buyer traffic right now I'm getting and seeing online is crazy. Everybody's going for acreages right now. So that's a high opportunity and something we addressed already with the long form. And we're going to kind of drill down on that more over the next few weeks. First time home buyer, that's not really a place I want to focus on, but again, pretty good high opportunity there. And then is it a good time to buy in Calgary in 2026? The nice part about knowing the keywords is knowing how to title your videos too, or what to write in your description if you're using Meta. And then if you're on YouTube, what to put in the description, and also how to title your videos to get more clicks. So this helps with that too, which is nice. So you have the content gaps, you have forum questions. So what's being asked on all the blogs and everything right now. So what are the best neighborhoods in Calgary for families? Is Calgary real estate going to crash 2026? What's the average house price in Calgary? What are hidden costs of buying? So these are being asked actively on blogs right now. So again, if you address these, higher chance people are going to come watch your video to address those questions. You can also take advantage of this and go into those. So if you're on Reddit and stuff like that, be on those groups and respond like, hey, like I have a bunch of information on this topic right here. Like insert your authority using these. So you know what's being searched, go find those search results and those blogs and go comment on them. And then because I asked for a breakdown, I have a breakdown of like everything.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I just
Uh,
saw someone post this morning, quite interesting, saying that for buyers buying condos downtown, their mortgage is coming out to like 2,600, 2,700 on a mortgage for a condo.
mhm.
Whereas they're saying, but I'm renting right now and I'm paying like 1,800. What's the point in me buying, kind of thing? That's it was an interesting conversation, but
Yeah. There you go. And like stuff like that, if it's a gap to the market of addressing stuff like that, then it's a
yeah.
good video to shoot. Because I asked for trending news, gave me some trending news topics too, what's got big engagement right now. So if I'm doing those green screen videos, I know like this is a good topic to shoot because it's got very high engagement. 75% of young Calgarians fear they'll never own a home. Really good video to do.
Hmm.
So, and then I found with my green screen videos, doing topics that either make people excited or people are fearful about, like you'll get the clicks. I mean, like the train one I did got 6,000 views in like a week, not even, because people are like, yeah, I really want to see this, and people commented on it and they bump it up. So anything you can get interaction from people on is going to really help your video excel as well. So hit these topics, get a report, rerun the report every month for the areas you want to focus on, and try to be a little more specific on your content, and you will get better results from it. So Manus is huge. Once you've done the report in Manus, then I recommend you bring it over to Claude, put it in a project, and say, hey, this is what I'm focusing on this month. I've uploaded the report with all the search results. You save your project there, then you can go into your project. Okay, please give me the following um, scripts for YouTube, for Instagram, wherever. Please break it down, write your script, and go shoot the video. Not everything has to be a video, so I would mix in some carousels and stuff too, because carousels do really well if they're written properly, and they're not too long. So mix in some too, and ask it for both. So that's a nice part with Claude is be like, hey, I want to do carousel posts every 4 days. I want to do video every 2 days. Let's break this down to scripts that are gonna get good search results. So. Um, my whole thing is like if I'm gonna spend the time, few hours a week to be shooting video, might as well be targeted to what people need and the information they need, and might as well pull leads from it. A really good direct video on YouTube will pull you leads almost every time, and Instagram will really go a long way to boosting confidence with people that people have in you. So when they are ready, they'll remember you because they're like, oh yeah, Adam shoots videos on this, Emily does this all the time. Oh, Emily really knows Cochrane. Emily really knows what it's like to have a family in Cochrane. Like if you drill down like those things all the time, then people will think of you as that authority. All right, questions on Manus or Claude right
No, I don't think so. I'm gonna have a play around this morning with it actually, because I
now?
wanted to get some scripts for tomorrow anyway. So this will be a
Yeah,
good
try
start.
Claude out. And then tell Claude to like, hey, I need this to be quick to the point, or hey, this is gonna be longer, drawn out. Make sure you tell what platform you want it on, and just keep drilling down until you get something good. We've got really good YouTube scripts. It's just some of them are too long. So now I'm like, all right, that's an awesome script, but we're not gonna talk for 20 minutes. We don't want a 20-minute video, we want an 8-minute video. So let's go highlights and keep us on track kind of thing. So um and I'm gonna buy a teleprompter for the content studio this week too. So
So apparently, Joel was telling me, I forgot. You can. There's an app. There's a teleprompter app you can put on an iPad.
yeah,
I'll see if I can get it going today. We can try it out tomorrow if you want on
Yeah, and
one.
then yeah, so the teleprompter, the iPad sits under here and it reflects it up for you. That's the
Yeah.
part I gotta buy. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
So
All right.
yeah, use the iPad tomorrow or whenever you're shooting,
Yeah,
but
just
I
because
will. I'm gonna
hopefully
get
we'll
a
get it
teleprompter.
in. We'll get it in one take with the teleprompter.
Yeah, I mean it's a teleprompter. Like I'll order one probably today if I get to it, but I'll have it for next week.
So,
Set up in here.
so sorry. Just to clarify, so you would use Manus for the research and creating, dialing in the content, whether it's for YouTube, Instagram, etc., and then obviously use Claude for like the language and the script you're going to use, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, another one is a monthly fee, but you don't have to like you don't have to use it forever. You can use it for a couple months, designer, and have some downloadable lead magnets for yourself, and then you could stop using it for a while too. So the cost is not prohibitive on designer. It's like 25 a month. You might use this for a bit and build up some resources for yourself. So using Claude, you can create like a full ebook, or we could call it a resource for buyers or resource for sellers, right? So we have our seller guide, that's a good resource for sellers on the seller process. But what if you are targeting people that are searching for inner city Calgary? You could make like a 5-page guide on living in your area, where the dog parks are, where the schools are, all this information. You could build this with Claude and put it into Designer and have a full downloadable PDF. And you can make this in like 2 hours flat. Not even. Like you'll get
So,
faster at Designer as you go. So I'll show you that really quick. But
yeah.
having downloadable resources is a really good magnet because you can tie it to your link tree, for example, if people are clicking on your profile in Meta, or you can put a download right off a YouTube page. But having a resource for people that they download and have really good information in, it protects your time because if you have people buy like, oh, I'm buying here, like, what are the schools or what's the school situation? Like, actually, I already have that ready for you. Here you go. So it saves you time, but it gives you a lot of authority online.
Okay.
So in here, you know, uh, something like that, for example. So I want to create a lead magnet. This will be ebook format on a breakdown of living in Cochrane. I want to have all schools highlighted, top restaurants, family activities, etc. I want this to be no more than 10 pages. I'll need a full ebook script, and then I will import this into Designer to build out the ebook. So I'm going to ask you for this. It's probably going to ask me more questions. Once you have a full script, that's where designer comes in because it will save you a ton of time on actually building the resources. If you have resources like this, you can have clickable links, free download links. You can give these to people when you start working with them and they're buying in that area. It will cut down on your time helping clients later because the biggest question I get all the time is schools, if I'm working with families, like, oh, what's the schools in the area? What do I need to know? And it's like, if you can just have this ready for them, you just give it to them. So once you have the whole script, it's going to give you a docx format. In Designer, you can literally just bring in your ebook, and I want to do ebook published as a PDF, and I'd like to select insert, Google Doc. Oops. Upload, whatever, import from Word, And then this ebook will be on the topic of, probably community, got your real estate. So once you upload that, it's gonna give you a preview of the content, so you can kind of edit any of the content if you're like, oh, that might not be spaced right. Then you can choose a template, and it's gonna plug everything into the ebook already for you. And then you can just do some quick edits as far as like, maybe I want this on this page, or like, fix up the visual of it if you don't like a few of the pages. But overall, it'll drop all this info into an ebook for you. You can just do quick touch ups, maybe take you an hour, and all of a sudden you have a resource and a lead magnet you can give to your leads right away and have auto downloads. You can email this out to your database, that kind of thing too, which gives you huge authority. So just take the script, you dump it in here. I'll show you the end result. So I made a new agent survival guide. So once you dump all your information in for whatever you're making, it's going to bring you to this edit screen. And then that's where you can like touch up, placement on certain pages, pictures. It will add pictures to it automatically, but you might want to switch some out or add more. So you can you could ask um, Claude to put placeholders for pictures for you too, if you just want to add your own. But it will add pictures. So, and it will make a linkable table of contents automatically. Like it cuts down on a ton of work. So I said why most agents fail, gave like quick description, biggest mistakes new agents make. And then I put resources through this whole thing too. So I have bonus downloads for people, for the agents. Then you go in here, pretty much every section, bonus download. And then I finished this with a full page of downloads so people can find everything in there. And I plugged our new agent program for this one, and then you can access all materials here. And I just host if you need to add specific downloads for any of this stuff, you just host it on Google Drive and just make it like a open link view only, and people can download. So you don't have to pay necessarily to host it. You can also host stuff in Canva too. Easy resource. So I made this whole ebook in like 83 hours. And like this is a sellable one. So I'm selling this for 20 bucks for new agents. But in the case if you're doing for leads, I would just do lead magnets and just build guidebooks for the areas you're targeting or the areas you often help buyers for. So complete guide to living in Cochrane. I don't know why this my last name. So here's your full
I
script.
was I was wondering who that was.
I don't know. I don't know where he got that. So schools in Cochrane, Glenbow, Fireside, Manchester, Westbrook. You can you can also like get it to go scan for the zone. So like who goes to what school. That's what I would do. Build this out a little bit more for people so they know what the catchment areas are for the schools, which is on the Rocky View school website. So you could just ask it to pull that and redo that page for you. Top restaurants, you can fix that up to the ones you think are the best, obviously. Family activities, arts and culture. So here you go. Here's my Cochrane one. If I'm like, it's a little long, I ask it to shorten it up, whatever. So this, you just download the Word doc, upload in Designer, and all of a sudden you got a Cochrane handout that you can put for people to download. If they click on a video about Cochrane, you can send it to your database about Cochrane. Hey, if you're buying Cochrane this year, I just want to make sure you have all the information. These are big lead magnets. So that's what I'm doing next with Designer is going to build out about a dozen lead magnets. That way I just have them ready. And if I'm running videos or ad campaigns, I can have a free download attached to it. So it could be anything like inner city, like restaurants. If you're a foodie, which I know you are, Adam, like that's a good one. Like, hey, here's like the best restaurants on a budget. Here's the best pizza places. That way, when you have your video, which you have now, in the comments of the pizza video, you can put hey, I've actually, if you go to my link tree above, like go to my link above and have a link tree there, you can download my guide to the best pizza restaurants in Calgary. And you can make it look all nice and fancy. You can put pictures in here and have a PDF download for people. So now, if they're like, yeah, you know what, I want the pizza guide, they're gonna click on your link tree and then download the pizza guide. You can make them put their name and email in there to download it. There you go, lead.
Hmm.
So any free downloads, like make sure people like you can have this free download, but you're coughing up your info for me. And if if you want to increase your download potential, get rid of phone number and make them put your email in, name and email, you will get more. But it's good to try to get everything when it makes sense. So, pizza guide, maybe it doesn't make sense to like really grill people and get all their info, but maybe that just warms them up so that next time you're like, hey, you want my guide on living in inner city Calgary? Like download it here and then it's name, phone number, email. Now they're like, yeah, you know what? He gave me a bunch of free info. It was awesome. And now I do need this. So I will just give him my phone number and email. So design is great. And like I said, like I'm gonna go build these lead magnets out probably this month, and then I'll probably pause my account. So I'm not paying 25 bucks every month because not necessarily something you're using every day. But you could build out a bunch of resources for 25 or 50 bucks in 2 months and then cancel this or pause your account until you want it again. So play with that one. Um, it just gives more authority. And the nice part is like you can make your own buyers or sellers guides. You could make anything, any of the resources that Real has or we have already. If you just want to rebrand it, like you can copy and paste all the info in here and just design your own too, instead of paying PTI to do it. So, when you go to print, you can always get people to touch things up if you want, if you're going to print some nice guides out, but you can give them the working files you get from here. But at least you can get a good start, and this will save you a lot of money if you're creating guides and doing printing guides as well. So yeah, Claude, Manus, Designer, that was my recommendation for playing with this month. There's so many more, but I don't want to go like give everybody everything one shot. It's too much. Plus, honestly, every month or two, there's something new coming out. So I'd
Yeah.
say Claude will be our friend for the next year or two, at least, anyway. And Manus will just keep getting better. Like, there's only version 1.6. So I know Meta will keep tweaking that one as they go too. And then there's some really good video ones as well. You can make faceless videos. You can crank out videos, especially good for YouTube. So if anybody's building out a YouTube page, cranking out a ton of videos directed at search results, but you can crank out a bunch of faceless ones on Pictory, or there's a couple other AI sites too. So we could do something on that next month. Just get more resources. But I think that's who's winning online right now is the agents that are using all the AI tools to like really save their time. Because although it takes me time to shoot some of these longer videos, I have it down that I can shoot three in about an hour, upload them, Mark's editing them, so that's out of the way. So I just have my shooting time, and then my scripts are done. I have Claude pretty dialed in here after a few weeks of using it extensively, and so I ask it for a script on a topic. I'm good with it. I can print it, go shoot it, done. And then I am working on some faceless videos, Pictory, just crank out more stuff for YouTube faster. And then, yeah, having the keyword searches done in like 10 minutes every month. So I know what I'm shooting. So save your time. Like the only time you should be spending on this stuff is really that shooting video time, which you can easily get down to like 2 hours a week. And you could be cranking out daily posts on 2 hours a week work. So don't overthink it. Not everything needs to be perfect. Just get the